Hey guys, welcome to the third and final installment of my Beginner Barbarian Assault Defender Guide. It's been about a year since I've made part 2, so I figured it was about time I made this one. Before I start, I do want to say that if you're not comfortable with what I showed in videos 1 and 2, you should go watch those and practice those methods before trying the methods I'm going to show in this video, because those ones are relevant when trying to do the methods that I'm going to show. So video 1 and 2 were luring runners and multikilling, and in this video I'm going to show how to delay and how to lure healers. So I will also introduce you guys to the concept of staggering. I was gonna include it as part of this video, but then I realized that it would have been like way too long of a video, and I'd rather make a separate video for it in the future and call it like Advanced Barbarian Assault Defender Methods. So yeah, for this video, mainly just how to delay and how to lure healers. So I'll give a small overview of the two things, and then I'll go to the examples. So delaying, first thing I'm going to show is delaying, right? So delaying is basically when you wait at certain spots on the map, like in the game, in order to optimize the healer spread. So healers are always going to target someone as soon as they spawn. They will follow that person until they poison them, and then they'll target a runner and heal that runner, and then they'll target another player and so on. So healers basically tend to wander a lot, and so sometimes you want, or maybe you don't want the healers to target you depending on where you are, so that the healers don't spread too far and make the job harder for your teammates. So I'm going to show you how to do some delaying. Basically there's two main spots where you delay. And then luring healers. So healers is probably one of the best things you can do to shave time off your runs, mainly because it helps the healer out so much, and healer's usually the slowest roll. So luring healers refers to drawing the aggro from the reserve healers and trapping them somewhere so they can't move. So I'll just mention what reserve healers are. So there's two types of healers. There's spawn healers and there's reserve healers. Spawn healers will always spawn at the same times during the waves, usually at 6, 12, 18, and 24 seconds, assuming there's enough healers on that wave. But a reserve healer is only going to spawn after a healer has died. So let's say there's 3 reserve healers, like on wave 7, there's 3 reserve healers. Then each of those healers needs another healer to die before it comes out. So you would need to kill 3 healers before all of the runners would be out. So basically, if the healer monster can't move, then your healer teammate can poison it much faster, and he doesn't have to chase it anywhere. And luring is usually only done on waves 6 to 10. And if you do have a good healer, it'll be on those waves, but sometimes it can be helpful to do on earlier waves when you have reserves, so like wave 3 and up. And as a defender, you want to lure these healers and trap them in certain areas of the map, so that they don't move. And basically, the reserve healers are the ones that are going to spawn with full HP, while the other healers are either already dead or almost dead. And so those are the ones that you want to lure, because those are the ones that need to be killed as quickly as possible. So essentially, the idea is once you've killed all of your runners, um, you want to go to this area to lure healers. So I'm going to show those two things. All right, so that's it for the introduction. I'm going to go into the examples for delaying. All right, so there's two main spots that you're going to be doing your delay. So there's the cannon delay and the main stack delay. The cannon delay you're going to do on waves 5 to 9. And essentially what you do is you just wait behind this cannon until the 12-second mark. On every single wave, will be a healer that spawns at 6 seconds and a healer that spawns at 12 seconds. And you want the healer, both of those healers, to target your healer teammate, so that they're not chasing after it when it's chasing after you. And it just makes it easier for them to place food on the healer. So you want to stay behind right at this tile in the corner of the cannon. It doesn't have to be this tile, like you can be behind here, just not like out in the open, because then you'll grab the healer. This one's the best though, because you can see the farthest north and you can see when the healer spawns. So there's a couple ways you can know if it's ready to do if you're ready to go out. The first one is obviously just when you see the second healer spawn, you can click out. This will obviously be like 1 tick slower because you'll have to wait till you can see it. Another strategy is you can like predict it. So sometimes when the healer's coming up, If the healer like didn't waste any ticks coming up, when they place a food on the first healer, it should be around here. If you wait 1 second after that and then you click, that should be like right as the healer spawns and you shouldn't grab it. But my favorite way to tell is if the first runner goes south, he will stop right at this tile here. I'm going to mark it. He will stop right there. And right as he passes, so right as he starts to pass over this spike, you can click and then it will only register. The click should only register when he steps here, which is also when this healer shows up. So you should only start moving right after the healer shows up. So right here. So the first delay right here, and you basically sit tight here for 12 seconds. Obviously, you can call on your way up here. So then you'll come here, you'll place your trap food, and then you go to the main stack, obviously. And this brings us to our second delay. So the second delay is the main stack delay. And basically, the main stack delay, you also only do it on waves 5 to 9. But it can also be helpful to do it on some of the lower waves, because basically what this does is if the first two healers, well, they'll obviously be aggroed onto the healer, but if they um, go to a runner and then back to you, they will come to you at the main stack. So what you can do is wait for them to get you here before you get your hammer and logs. Because when you get your hammer and logs, if you have healers coming with you, you could possibly drag them all the way up here. And what happens then is they'll poison you here, and then they might wander off west, and they might be out of range of seeing the runners, and they won't be able to come back. And that's not going to be fun because then your healer teammate has to go and chase them down. But the main purpose actually of the main stack delay is for the third healer, because if you're doing the cannon delay as well, you should get to the main stack approximately at the same time that the third healer spawns. And sometimes what happens when you get to the main stack, the third healer targets you. So if you see that the third healer targets you, you just wait here till he poisons you, and then you can go and get your logs and hammer. If he doesn't, then you can go and get your logs and hammer. What some people do is, what I recommend actually you do is that if the third healer does target you, which is the healer that spawns at 18 seconds, by the way, since you're waiting a bit longer, you should get your logs first instead of the hammer. If it doesn't target you, you can get your hammer first. It's just a good idea to get the logs first because logs also spawn every 6 seconds. And if you get targeted by this third healer, for example, on wave 9, you usually want 3 logs for wave 9. So you're going to want to get a third set of logs. And if you get the first log before 24 seconds, you'll be able to get 3 logs. And if you get the hammer first, you won't be able to get 3 logs when the third healer targets you. So yeah, it doesn't matter where you put your main stack. Most people put it here. I put it here, for example. But it doesn't matter where you put it, just as long as you don't drag the healers with you all the way there. But yeah, like I said, if the third healer doesn't target you, it can be pretty helpful to wait for like another healer come in your way. Because like I said, bringing a healer out to the middle, especially when it's a healer that needs to be repoisoned, that's not going to be very helpful. So these are basically the two places you're going to delay. So this tile until 12 seconds, right behind the cannon, and then this tile when the third healer targets you or when another healer targets you. Um, I'm going to show some examples of what it looks like in a game to do the delay. So now I'm going to show you guys the cannon delay and the main stack delay. So first thing, you grab your food. You're going to call on your way to the cannon, and then you can just wait here until the second healer. So the first healer goes over the spike, and then you can click, and that's how you do the cannon delay. So when you go to the main stack, third healer targets you, you're going to wait for it to poison you, and then you can go and get your logs. 1 or 2 logs, depending what you need. And you go back to the cannon, and that's how you do those 2 delays. And now you can see all of the healers are nice and close by, and healer doesn't have to chase anything out west. So those 2 delays, you're going to want to do them on waves 5 to 9. And then there's also another delay that you can do on waves 8 and 9, which I'm going to show you right now. And that's I guess like the spawn delay. And basically on waves 8 and 9, at 30 seconds, there is a healer that spawns. And you can, like, right as it spawns, you can stand beside it. And if you stand right beside it, maybe if it targets you, it'll stay there, and I'll show you guys that right now. So it's about 24 seconds now. That one targeted us, and then you just stand right beside it for the 30 seconds. Targeted us, and it just stays there, and that way it doesn't chase you all the way to the trap. It just makes it easier for the healer. All right, so now the last thing I'm going to show you guys for delaying is how to delay on wave 10. So delay on wave 10 is different than all the other waves, mainly because of the fact there isn't a cannon on the east side. So I'll show you guys where you still do like a cannon delay, but there's just no cannon. So you just kind of stand a little bit more south of the trap, and then you wait till 12 seconds, either when you see the first runner like walk south and stop, or when you can see that the healer poisoned the first healer, you can wait about a second. It's not as big of a deal if you do drag the second healer. It happens sometimes. You're running on, like, you should be running towards the main stack, which is where the healer is, so it's not that big of a deal. The main difference with wave 10 is for the third and fourth healer. What some people choose to do, obviously, it'll help the healer, but it's not necessary. And what this is you do the spawn delay that I showed in the last clip on wave 8 for wave 8 and 9. You do this, but for the third and fourth healer. So basically, you're not going to do a main stack delay. You just do the delay at the start for the second healer, and then you run and place your main stack. And then right after you do that, you walk beside the healer spawn until the third healer spawns, and then when the third healer spawns, you can go grab your hammer, and then you go back to the cave for the fourth healer spawn. And then after the fourth healer spawns, you grab your logs and go back. So I'm going to show you guys what that looks like now. So for wave 10, there's two different delays you can do. There's the one at the start, and then there's the one on the spawn. If you do this one at the start, you won't be able to do the spawn one for the third healer, but I'll still show you guys how to do the first one and then the one for the spawn. So first you get your food, and then the first delay, which is to replace the cannon delay, is right south of this spike here. You just wait here till 12 seconds, which is right when the runner stops. You place your food, you go to the main stack. Third healer will spawn, grab your hammer, and then you want to go right beside the spawn. And if the fourth healer targets you like that, he'll stay right there. So that's the spawn delay and the start delay. If you don't do the start delay, you can do the spawn delay for the third and the fourth. Some people would say that that would be better than to do both, but honestly, it's up to you. But that's how you do both of them. All right, so that's it for the delaying part of the guide. The next part of the guide is going to be on how to lure healers. So first, I'm going to show you guys where the tiles are that you stand and like what the method is, I guess, for how to lure healers in different ways. And then after that, I'll show you guys the different examples. So for luring healers, basically once you've killed all of your runners, or if your last runner will die without you needing to do anything, so that means without you needing to drop more food or fix the trap, you can go to the lure spot. And the lure spot is right here in this little nook right here, just east of the trap. And if you stand here, healers can target you from here. And if they do, they will get stuck on the wall. They'll get stuck right up here. And what some people will do is they'll just stay here for like the rest of the round, and all of the healers will stack up here. And this is actually not good. Like, it doesn't help the healer because if there's a lot of healers that are what's called stacked, then your teammate can only poison them by right-clicking them and like selecting on the stack every time, and that's like really tedious. So basically, your goal when you're luring healers, or more than one anyways, is to avoid stacking healers at all costs. And there's two ways to do this. It depends on how many healers you need to lure and what wave it is. So on waves 6, 8, and 9, you're going to want to lure. There's two reserves that you want to lure. And you're not always going to get the aggro. Like, sometimes the attackers will get it if they come and try to get the lures first. That's fine also. Sometimes the healers will maybe get them if they didn't go restock on time. But hopefully if you get two of them, which will happen on waves 6, 8, and 9. The first one, you just want to let it come and sit here, and you want to wait there until the second one spawns. When the second one spawns, you're just going to step one tile out. This first healer is going to step out here, and when it steps out, you can come back here. Just make sure you stand like one tick at least before you go back, otherwise it'll just stay there. But what this will do is the first healer will come down here, and it'll actually get trapped on this corner while aiming at you here, and the second healer will come down here and get trapped there, and that's how you can lure two healers. on the wall. So there'll be one here and one there. So that's what's called a wall lure. Another thing you could do is called a cannon lure, and this is good in like speed rounds because you're going to want to shoot the healers. And basically, what this does is has the healers close to the cannon. So the first one always is going to be right here. If obviously if you only have one lure on the wall, you just leave it there. That's it. And one lure on the cannon, you just go step on the cannon, and it'll be on the north side. If you are here and there's a healer there and you want to bring it to the cannon, if you just click on the egg launcher like this, it'll bring you right to the egg launcher, and the healer will also come and get dragged and stand right there. So that's how I like to do it, and that's how you would get it here as well. However, if you have two healers, one down here and one there, also if you click on the cannon like this one won't get you. The only problem is that the second healer will be down here and the first one will be up here. What you want is to have one healer on the north side and one healer on the east side. So this is what's called a cannon lure. So what you'll do is when the first healer is here, when the second healer spawns, you're going to step one tile out, wait for it to get dragged out, and then when it gets dragged out and you're standing here, it'll have one tick to move down, and then you can click on the cannon. So basically allowing it to move south one tile will get it trapped on this right side. You only have to wait one tick here. So as long as on your way to the cannon you stop for one tick and allow the healer to come down, it will work. Just make sure it's not like too far out here because sometimes they won't have time to go south. So if you just do like this and then you go to the cannon, you'll get the second healer uh, blocked here and the first one up here. And now the tough one is when you have three healers. So there's no way to get three healers on the wall. You can only get up to two. So if you get three healers, you have to do a cannon lure. And you're going to want to basically aim to get one of them on the bottom right, one on the side, and one on the north side. Basically, this triple lure, you only ever have to do it on wave 7. It's the only one that has three reserve healers. And then 6, 8, and 9 are the ones where you're going to only ever have to do two, and those are the easy ones. So now I'm going to show you guys examples of what that looks like in a real game. So if you only have to lure one healer, you can just stand here and then leave them there. So if you have to lure two healers, you're going to want to step out one tile when this first one spawns, and then move back. And then the first one will go down here, and the second one will be trapped there. So if you have just one healer and you want to bring it to the cannon, if it's right here, you can easily just click on the cannon and it'll bring it to the north side. But usually you'll have two healers, so you're gonna want to wait till you get the second one. And if you don't get the second one, usually the attacker will get the second one. In that case, you're still gonna want to bring this one to the east side. So you're still gonna act like if you didn't get, like if you got the second one. And basically, when you get the second one, you just want to walk one tile out, let this guy move south a little bit like this, and then you click on the cannon, and then hopefully if you were fast enough, this one will go on the north side and this one will go on the east side. And now when you shoot red eggs at this healer, this one will also take collateral damage. If you had done the wall lure where you had one on this north tile up here and then one on this tile there, and then you tried to click on the cannon right from here, you would still be able to get it. And the only difference is that you would have this healer up here and this healer down here. And this is still good, it's just that this one will not take collateral damage. So on wave 7, there's actually 3 reserves. It's the only wave besides wave 10 that has 3 reserves. But wave 10 doesn't have the cannon, so this is the only wave where you can do a triple lure on the cannon. So the way that you would do this is the same as when you get the first 2 lures. You're going to want to get one down here and then one up here. And then when the third runner spawns, you want to click this tile here, which is just 2 south and then 1 west. You want to click this tile, and then right after your character starts moving to this tile, you're going to click down to this tile. And basically, your character runs 2 tiles in 1 tick. So as soon as it starts moving, it's technically already registered here. So as soon as it starts moving here, you're going to want to click down here. When it gets about halfway between, so right here, it's already registered to move here. So when it gets halfway, you want to click to the cannon. Basically, if you run from here to here, you've walked south for 1 tile, and what this will do is this second runner will walk out and then run south one tile. And then when you run to the cannon, it will be able to get trapped here. The first one that was here will go down there, and then the third spawn will come to the north side. So now I'm going to show you an example of what that would look like. So here's how you would do the triple lure. Yeah, so basically you just click this tile, then right south. When you get about halfway, click to the cannon, and you'll get one north, east, and south like that. So on wave 10, once you've fixed the trap and you've placed all your food, you're going to want to stand south of the trap in this line here, and then healers are going to line up here. When you have one or two healers here, you're going to wait till you get the aggro of the third healer, and once you do get it, you're going to run towards the cannon. And this one's going to be your first one, so basically you're going to want to stand so that you line up in order, in like right with this corner here, and then when that healer gets close enough, you're going to want to move towards the cannon, and then these ones will come on this side, and basically you split them like this. The cannon is going to target these ones here, however, they should have lower HP by the time that a couple eggs get shot, and then the healer can just concentrate on this one here. This is the one that you really want to be alone. There is a way to get it so this one is on the north side of the cannon, and that one will be targeted with the eggs, but this one is also good, and it's easier to pull off. But it is good because also it's the closest one to the dispenser, so the healer has to run a little bit less. But yeah, this is how you would do the lure on wave 10. Alright, so that's it for this video. I was going to show a couple other things like staggering and these other little tips and tricks, but I think the video is already kind of long now, so I'll leave it at that. I just wanted to shout out a couple people that helped me during this whole video. So there's Solid Milk, Played Collector, Latata, who is one of my friends from a Leech clan, and he played healer. He played a huge role, so shout out to this guy. Merc and Dream Unknown, who came to play attacker, and then also Smell, SMEL. He played a couple waves with me, so shout out to him as well. Huge thank you to all these guys. They stuck with me for like almost 4 hours while I was recording all these clips. So that's awesome. Thank you so much, guys. And yeah, so that's it for the video, guys. If you have any questions, obviously my private's always on. Just send me a message in game or leave it in the comments, and I'm happy to help you guys whenever. So thanks for watching.